Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the show. If this is your first time, then I hope that you enjoy this episode. If you guys are an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. This is the third episode of the 7-day daily episode that I am doing, answering your questions and giving away tickets to my exclusive webinar, which is on September 4. It's going to be called Your Best Year Ever, The Secrets to Personal Development. So if you want to learn everything that I know when it comes to personal development, how to change your life, you got to be there. Okay, you cannot miss this. This is my biggest event of the year, and if you're looking for a chance for me to mentor you, this is it. Go check it out right now at bit.ly/project best year ever. That's bit.ly/project best year ever. Okay, so for this episode, our third winner of the giveaway for the ticket is at Merel Mystica. And she asked how to avoid procrastination. To live my best year ever, I want to do everything that I am thinking of, like business, but I can't. I'm having a hard time being consistent. Yun lang po. Thank you. Okay, so Meryl Mystica, thank you so much. I think a lot of people can relate to this. When it comes to procrastination, there's just one thing that I always remind myself. It's also embedded here in the tattoo that I have in my body. It's, if you guys are not aware, I have a tattoo on my arm, on my bicep, and what's written here is Memento Mori. And Memento Mori basically means remember that you must die. I think a lot of people think that they have tomorrow. A lot of people assume that they have later. Isn't it arrogant to think that we will have tomorrow to do the things that we want to do? One thing that I recently learned, especially now here with the pandemic, knowing that there are a lot of people that it's not given a chance to continue their lives. It's sad, it's unfortunate, but it also puts things into perspective. Tomorrow, it's a bonus, it's not a right. Tomorrow is a privilege. Tomorrow is not promised. What you only have is today. Today, right now, right this moment. This is the only time that you have right now. This is the only thing that exists. You will never know what can happen or what will happen, what may happen in the future. And most of us, when we procrastinate, let's say, oh, I'm going to do that later. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to start my business tomorrow. I'm going to start being better tomorrow. Chances are there will be a circumstance that will prevent you from doing this event that you pushed off tomorrow. You got to stop doing that. It's like hitting the snooze button. I am creating this new habit that I wake up at 5 a.m. and I made a promise to myself that every time I'm setting an alarm, I will not hit the snooze button. Why? Because when I hit the snooze button, I'm already starting off with a failure. And when I hit that snooze and snooze and snooze button again and again, I would feel bad about myself because I keep on making bad decisions or losses in my life. Whether it's consciously or unconsciously, it's the same. Procrastination is a form of self-hatred. Like we don't see, but we're hating ourselves more and more, little by little, every single time we say we're going to do something and we're not doing it. So I always remind myself when I feel like I'm procrastinating, I always humble myself with the fact that, no, I might die tomorrow. You'll never know. I might die tomorrow. So if I die tomorrow, would I rather be pushing off and doing nothing and pushing off the dreams, the goals, the life that I wanted to live? Or would I rather be found dead with me pursuing the things that I truly want to live, the things that I truly want to have. The latter one's a noble life compared to the other one that I'm just still pushing off everything. There's nothing noble about that. We're all born legendary here. But for some reason, we think that we can always push the things that we need to do to tomorrow. And it's arrogant. Humble yourself. Prepare yourself for the worst times of the worst. This is what separates the good people, like the best ones, from like the average ones. Because they're preparing for the winters. Do you know why some people are living their best years ever, even though it's in the pandemic? Because they're because they prepared for this. Like, I've seen families that are not prepared for these kinds of crises, and now they're hitting the panic button because they procrastinated all the goals, the financial knowledge that they needed to have for them to be able to live throughout the pandemic, throughout the crisis. Now, nobody wants this, I know. But why are there people having a hard time compared to the other people? A harder time compared to the other people? It's because these people prepared for this. And the others, they procrastinated, improving themselves, creating a plan that will make them happy, that will make them secure, designing a life that they truly want to live. They keep on pushing it off. So if death doesn't scare you, then at least the thought of you living a life that you don't want next year, in the next years. Because you're only pushing off your fortune. You're only pushing off your wealth. You're only pushing off the life that you deserve. And here's a practical advice when it comes to procrastination. When you think of doing something, for example, you say that you're going to start working on this one, right? Like, just do it. Like, don't think about it. The moment that you think about it, you're going to lose the game. Okay? So when you wake up, for example, the alarm goes on. When you wake up, don't go up slowly. Don't go, stretch a little bit, 5 more minutes. Don't do that. When the alarm clock goes off, you stand up and do it before your weak mind pulls down your weak self, because it knows that you have weak self-control, and it will give you all the reasons why you shouldn't stand up, why it's okay not to stand up, why it's okay to start tomorrow, start the sleeping or the waking up early tomorrow. Your mind is going to give you all the reasons for you to stay where you are because it likes comfort. It doesn't seek discomfort. It's basically trying to protect us. But most of the time, it's protecting us from growth as well. When something is hard, that means there's growth on the other side. So if we want to do something, we don't need to reason it out. If we say we're going to work out, we're going to run outside, we're going to do home workouts, then we just need to do it. Don't give yourself the time to think. When you want to do it, get your clothes ready and start doing it. Start acting on it, okay? When you say you're going to write something or create a podcast, do it now. Don't push it tomorrow. The reason why a lot of people are frustrated with their work as well is this, because they feel like there's this perfect time to do something. Let me tell you, there's no perfect time. There's none. I've been creating podcasts 2 years ago, and if I waited for my podcast to just to be okay, at least to be good, at least before I upload it, then you'll probably won't hear me right now. I won't be hitting top 2. But because I said, now, you know what? I don't know anything about this, but let's start. I don't know about creating any, how to create a webinar, an event like this, but you know what? Let's do it. Before all the reasons why I shouldn't do it come into my mind, before all the reasons why I should just stay where I am right now come into my mind, I would do it. I cannot show you the magic formula for discipline. But let me tell you one thing, the more that you discipline yourself, the more you'll able to live a life that you want. Because if you have self-control, then ultimately you will have self-respect. And you will love yourself more if you see that you are having progress. But if you see that you are still in the same position, doing the same self-destructive actions or habits that you do, with procrastination, with pushing off everything to tomorrow, then you'll slowly hate yourself. And trust me, you don't want that. So, always remember, you're going to die. Do what you have to do. Do the noble thing that you have to do. Second is, tomorrow is not a promise. Don't be too arrogant. Understand that tomorrow is a bonus and today is a gift, so use today very well. Third is, do it before your brain starts giving you the reasons why you should not do it. Like when you don't give it even 5 seconds to think. When you want to do something, when you have to do something, just do it right now and carry off the momentum. So yeah, hope that helps. I, again, am inviting all of you to join the masterclass, the webinar on September 4. It's going to be 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. There are only 18 slots available, so make sure that you reserve your slot right now. I'm going to pour out my heart. I prepared this for 3 months, 3 months worth of talk. So I hope that you'd be there, and I hope I could share with you everything that I know. A lot of people are coming there to change their lives. Who knows? You just might change yours. So, again, thank you so much for listening. My name is Alec Cuenca, and this is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. And we'll talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye.
Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.